Okay, a perfectly timed yellow flag moment gives us an opportunity to talk to Kamui Kobayashi, who will be racing at the Indy Road Course in a few weeks. He'll be doing that for 2311. We announced that over in Le Mans as part of the Garage 56 experience. Kamui, welcome here to Chicago for this street course. Obviously, you're not running tomorrow's race, but it's great that you're here taking it all in. Maybe give us some thoughts on what your experience has been like here in Chicago so far.
Yeah, I think hello everyone. Good morning, obviously. I think I'm really looking forward for the Indy races. Obviously, I'm coming here to run the teamwork during race week. This is a street circuit, which is first time in the NASCAR, but obviously I think I could probably help my experience in the street circuit as well. So I think, it looks quite challenging. I did it this morning in track walk, and obviously I think that looking is like kind of like I never such seen like challenging circuit on the street, because I know that I think like open wheel car, you have to resurface on track, but here still keeping the same asphalt as usual track, so looking quite challenging. But I think definitely it's get more attention in the NASCAR in the doing like races. So I'm definitely looking forward for to see the watching the race this week.
Great, thank you. If you have a question for Kamui, please raise your hand. We'll start over here with Jordan and then go to Jerry.
Jordan Bianchi, The Athletic. Will you be watching tomorrow's race with the team?
Yeah.
And then have you given any observations or tips or tricks about street course racing to any of the team
Well,
guys?
I think I just talked to Tyler for how you looked at, like, for example, like braking with new surface, the bump. It's obviously just I say, it's always it's unknown before, but it's most important when you are like kind of new track, the city circuit. It's like track evolution is quite high, so it's obviously just why I was given tip that you had to come up the where you other guys running, and at the end of the day, I think where other guys running, I think more increase in the grip. Obviously, if you go out of the line, you have less grip, so it's like it's gonna be the most important during the session, through the session, maybe during the race as well. And obviously, I think also another part. I mean, when I look this. It's so challenging. So to be survive, I think another thing is very important, and especially when I look at the weather forecast, it looks it's a lot of risk of rain as well. So yeah, it will be. I think for everyone, it's not easy situation, but yeah, it will be a nice show then.
Jerry.
Jerry Jordan, Kicking the Tires.net. Good to see you again.
Yeah.
And so your history of racing in street courses, but with open wheel versus fenders, with this track being so narrow, is it better to have fenders, in your opinion, in racing in conditions like this?
I think actually you cannot really race open wheel on this track because of the bump, or the like even the hole. I think which it's quite a lot. Obviously, when we are racing in the open wheel, I think the how you create downforce is obviously different. So that's even, I think, a bit too much when we look. But obviously, this NASCAR racing here, it should be fine in terms of the hole and in terms of the bump net. I think this makes more challenging for driver, but I think this gives us more the chance for driver makes different probably. So, we see how it goes, but for sure the track evolution, when the lava is on the track, I think this gives us more confidence in driver. But yeah, obviously it's not a lot of running on NASCAR, so I'm quite curious how much they put the lava on the track.
Go to Zach, and then go to Michael. Zach Canzetter.
Zach at Tansready, kickingthetires.net. Saw you speaking with Jensen before the track walk. Of course, you've known him for a long time, raced in F1 and Le Mans. When you see someone like him come into NASCAR, joining yourself and many others before him, what is it to you that makes NASCAR really intriguing? He was speaking about the car and how it's more internationally friendly to foreign drivers. Is that one of the reasons? Is this new car, or really what's brought you here?
Yeah, I mean, even with Jensen, actually, we did race the Super GT. I think we raced this exactly same year because I have been only 1 year in the Super GT, and that year Jensen come to Japan to race Super GT. Obviously, I think, somehow I think we had quite a lot of time racing together, even the endurance races as well. I think when we talk about this kind of new experience, he knew exactly where we come from. So we are talking about how different between like the way you come from open wheel to the stock car things is like, car is definitely heavier, and how you manage, how you find the limit. I think that makes really different. And I just had experience in the simulator, and that makes for me the little idea in terms of this NASCAR, how you drive, and just we describing each other, how we feel. And actually, I think we feel quite the common things that coming from open wheel to the NASCAR is like. I think the first things is that the weight makes so different compared to our. And another thing is we are talking about the brake, because brake pedal is it's okay, but just by the weight the car doesn't stop. I think that's the way I think we talk about in the common topics. But apart of that, we talk about this Chicago circuit. I think for everyone it's challenging, and I think. Even for him, he had experience in the street, but I think he said that it's going to be no easy for everyone, especially on the wet.
Michael.
Michael Massey, front stretch. Growing up in Japan, how big a deal was Michael Jordan?
It's the big star in Japan. Seriously, I mean, I think for sure. I think young age. I think could never see that when Michael Jordan played, even though I think they knew the name, but at least I would say, I think most of popular sportsmen in Japan, if you put name on, I think everybody knew. So, not to be honest, I think, I have no chance to meet with Michael Jordan, but honestly, when I joined this team, I got new Jordan shoes, which I'm very lucky, because not easy to buy, I think, but I get for free. So it's already I got cheap enough to say thank you.
Thanks.
Any final questions?
I think I want to get the signature of the Michael Jordan in my shoes then. I think the best way.
We'll go to Nate.
Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. So have you had a chance to meet Michael Jordan?
No.
No, not yet. Okay.
No.
Just
Unfortunately, no. But I think first one I will ask their signature.
Yeah. So you were at Le Mans, and obviously you were racing, but you saw the Garage 56 and the reaction. What was that like, seeing Europeans and everybody from around the world react to NASCAR being at Le Mans? And do you think it'll bring more drivers, fans from other series here?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first things I would like to say is like, I think this new gen car, it makes us more familiar in terms of probably driving, and I think things why. Also, I think NASCAR is quite welcome now to supporting us to join in the not full season, but just joining get the experience. I think this is really for us it's helpful to join, but for us it's for sure. I think definitely. When I remember that when I was young, I think my first race watching on TV was NASCAR actually instead of Formula One, because when I remember when I started go-kart, that time even I don't know the Formula One name, but I remember that my memory that what I also the race was like oval race with like NASCAR bodywork. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, it's clearly like this race was what I was watching on when I was young. It's like 4 or 5 years old maybe. So I think I was saying when I have chance I want to try the NASCAR which I was asking so many times, but I never had opportunity. But finally, I got this opportunity, which is I'm 36 years old. Not a lot of chance, but yeah, luckily I got it at least. Well, it depends. If I manage good, maybe. If I manage good, that's it.
Go to Daniel.
Daniel McFadden, frontstretch.com. I'm curious, so about 25 years ago, NASCAR did make a big splash when it went to Japan, for 3 races. I'm just curious, what has been like the lasting effect of those 3 races, on Japan and sports and stuff?
Yeah, I think I would say it's a bit different now, for example, because at that time, when you say, okay, NASCAR been in Japan, but at that time you don't have any social media stuff. It's just you have newspaper, the book. But this time you have all the social media stuff. I mean, the NASCAR, all the media are doing really great job. I think all the attention that's coming from the social media is something I think another level. So I think if you come to Japan now, it's a bit different story, I would say, because you can promote and you can promote different way, especially like younger generation. So, I think it's 25 years ago. Even I think we don't have like a smartphone to go. I think that time was like GPS or whatever, like different, the connection. But this time, I think we have a completely different way to deliver the information. So, for sure, I think this NASCAR race, how the fighting during race, I think Japanese people like it. So I think there's possibility in the future. If they come, I think they come different way than 25 years ago.
Okay, any final questions? Okay, Kamui, thank you so much for your
Thank you.
time, and we'll look forward to seeing you in Indy.
Yep, thank you. This is my biggest job of the week, so now I'm gonna have beer.